Good evening, children. Welcome to AIMS India's online classes. Biology session. Nutrition, food supplying system. From the past 4 days, we have been discussing about the concept of nutrition, autotrophic nutrition in plants, that is photosynthesis, and the heterotrophic nutrition, that is holozoic nutrition, the nutrition in human beings we have been discussing. And by yesterday, we have completed the process of digestion. The holozoic nutrition consisting of how many steps? 5 steps. What are they? Ingestion, digestion, absorption, assimilation, and egestion. So in the today's class, some more important concepts related to human digestive system and about the deficiency diseases we are going to discuss. Ready, children? Let us proceed. Health aspects of alimentary canal. As you all know that, what is alimentary canal? Alimentary canal is also called digestive tract. It is the pathway by which food enters the body and solid wastes are expelled out. Alimentary canal consists of mouth to anus, the serial order of different organs from mouth to anus. It includes main parts: mouth, pharynx, esophagus or food pipe, stomach, small intestine, large intestine, and the last part, anus. Sometimes vomiting is the body's method of ridding itself of unwanted or harmful substances from the stomach. Sometimes due to overeating or eating spicy food materials, whenever we attend a function or a dinner, if you eat more like junk food, so what happens? It leads to indigestion. So that indigestion leads to vomiting. What is vomiting means? It is nothing but the reverse process of peristalsis. The food which is present in the stomach will be reversed and it will come out through the mouth. So it will happen due to the imbalance of the pH of the food material inside the intestine. Okay. So generally in our digestive system, the mechanism is such that in order to act the enzymes, appropriate pH is provided. For example, alkaline pH, basic pH is provided in the mouth for the action of thiolin, and acidic pH is provided in the stomach for the action of pepsin, and once again it is alkaline in the duodenum by the addition of salts. So imbalance leads to some reaction. So that is vomiting. It is a voluntary action. So these vomitings, indigestion and care. Indigestion is a general term used when there is a difficulty in digesting food. Healthy people can usually avoid the problems related to digestion by following some rules. What are they? They will be having a simple and well balanced meal. Okay, what is the meaning? Simple and well balanced. Well balanced means it will be balanced diet, fulfill all the nutrients. Okay. Next, eating them in a leisurely manner. They will eat leisurely, means mastication. They will use their teeth properly in chewing the food. Thoroughly masticating the food. Okay, at the time of eating, you have to allot some time. How much time is required for a supper? How much time is required for a dinner? How much time is required for a breakfast? So, when you are eating, you concentrate on eating. Next, avoiding taking violent exercise soon after eating food. So, some unhealthy habits are there, like eating while watching TV or mobile, or while eating talking continuously, or sometimes after eating doing some heavy exercise or lifting weights. So these are all unhealthy habits which may lead to some digestive problems. Okay, so drinking plenty of water and having regular bowel movements, it is very important. So at the time of eating, some people having the habit of taking water, so that must be avoided. So after eating, taking water is also very important. Sufficient water, if it is not there, digestive problems will arise. Avoiding more spicy food is one of the important precaution to be taken. Okay, overeating is also a big problem. It should be avoided. Even if your favorite food is available also, you have to eat in a limited manner. Okay, children, let us proceed. Malnutrition. Before going to malnutrition, so particularly at the time of vomiting, sometimes greenish vomit, usually called as bilious or liverish. Okay, we get a bitter taste, and it is the result of eating rich meals over several days. Every day big meal you are taking means one day it will happen. The liver is unable to cope with the excessive fats, and we get a feeling of nausea, okay, vomiting sensation and vomit. So proper functioning of all life processes requires adequate amount of food in all living organisms. It is not just the intake of food, but how much of it is assimilation and expulsion of the waste that play an important role. Intake of fiber food rich in fibers. The food which is rich in fibers is called what, children? Roughage. Okay, that is very important. That will avoids the constipation. Constipation means improper stools. Regular defecation is required to maintain the digestive system healthy. Okay, it's indigestion is a more serious problem nowadays. It may lead to even ulcers. Okay, so that's why avoid eating spicy food. So some rest is required for the digestive system. At least from every meal, a 4 hours to 5 hours rest must be required. In between that, you need to take the water. Okay. Diseases due to malnutrition. We know that the food is the main source of it is the main source to maintain biological processes in a perfect manner. Our diet should be a balanced one which contains a proper amount of carbohydrates, proteins, vitamins, mineral salts and fats. Okay, so in the world, 2/3 of the world population is affected by food related diseases. Some of them are suffering by consuming high calorific food, and most of them are facing various diseases due to lack of balanced diet. It is very important to discuss about the food deficiency diseases. Okay, now let us come to malnutrition. What is balanced diet? Before going to malnutrition, let us know about the balanced diet. A diet which contains all the nutrients or all the required nutrients in proper proportion. How much it is required, that much. Then it is called a balanced diet. So if any disturbance in that balanced diet, that will lead to malnutrition. The definition of malnutrition: eating of food that is that does not have one or more than one nutrients in required amounts is known as malnutrition. Okay, there are several reasons are there for malnutrition. What are those reasons? First one, poor health. So always getting diseases. Willful starvation. What do you call dieting? Dieting, they will say, no? Willful starvation. Then lack of awareness of nutritional habits. Okay, you must from the lower classes onwards, you are studying about the nutrition, nutrients, their importance. So that knowledge you have to apply in your day-to-day life. So lack of awareness of nutritional habits is also one of the reason for malnutrition. And myths and misconceptions also. If you eat potato, you will get some problems. Okay, if you eat brinjal, some problems. If you eat some leaves, some problem like that. Some myths and misconceptions are also there. Socio-economic factors. Okay, socio-economic factors. Economic factors means poverty. So these are all the reasons for malnutrition in our country. Malnutrition is of 3 types. What are the different types of malnutrition? Number 1, calorie malnutrition. Calorie malnutrition means due to deficiency of carbohydrates and fats. Protein malnutrition, deficiency of proteins. Protein calorie malnutrition means due to the deficiency of protein as well as calorie. Calorie means carbohydrates and fats. So here 2 types of malnutritions mentioned here. One is protein malnutrition, protein calorie malnutrition. So here Kwashiorkor and Marasmus, these are 2 important malnutrition diseases. And we also discuss about the obesity. Too much is too bad, that is overeating leads to obesity. So let us see the 2 types of malnutrition, Kwashiorkor and Marasmus. First, Kwashiorkor malnutrition diseases. Kwashiorkor disease. This is due to the protein deficiency diet. The food material which is deficient in protein, if it is given to the infants, always remember most of the deficiency diseases appear in the children below 5 years, growing stage. The infant stage is very, very important. Before 1 year, if the child gets proper nutrients, then the growth will be rapid. So during that 1 year after childbirth, if the child is neglected, by the parents, then due to lack of knowledge or due to poverty, whatever the problems which we have discussed, reasons, then it will lead to this kind of diseases, kwashiorkor. This is due to protein deficiency. Then what are the symptoms? The body parts become swollen. The body parts become swollen means somewhat bulged due to accumulation of water in the intercellular spaces. Okay, the space which is present between the cells is filled with water. Very poor muscle development, because building blocks of the body are proteins. Here protein deficiency, due to that poor growth of muscles. Then swollen legs due to accumulation of intercellular water. Then fluffy face, moon like appearance of face, fluffy. And it is difficult to eat, means loss of appetite. They will lose hunger, they won't show interest in eating. Then diarrhea. Diarrhea means frequent vomitings and motions is called diarrhea. Dry skin, skin loses its natural shine, so it becomes dry. So these are all the symptoms of which disease? Kwashiorkor. See here, scaly skin, skin become dry and scaly. Distended abdomen means somewhat the stomach will be protruded. Then swollen ankles, swollen legs. Oedema. Oedema means accumulation of water in the intercellular spaces. This is kwashiorkor. Okay. When the child is weaned out, means when the mother stops the breastfeeding, mother milk, if it is compensated with the separate external food materials, then also this problem is arised. Or when the repeated childbirth without gap, when the childbirth occur, that also lead to these kind of problems, kwashiorkor and marasmus. Next, marasmus. The marasmus, it is the disease due to deficiency of both protein and calorie. Protein and calorie means protein and calorie. So this protein and calorie means all the important nutrients, macronutrients like carbohydrates, proteins and fats. So this disease, marasmus, it is generally occur when there is a immediate second pregnancy or repeated childbirths. Okay. So there must be some 3 to 5 years gap between each child, that is recommended by the health department. So because of that, if they without gap, if the childbirth, repeated childbirth, that may lead to this marasmus. Lean and weak, the child is very lean compared to the same age group child. The child looks very weak and lean means thin. Swelling of limbs, swelling will be there, and less developed muscles, there are no muscles. See here, ribs are prominent, all the bones appears externally. Dry skin, skin loses its natural shine, dry skin. Diarrhea, these are all the symptoms. And the child also shows hyper irritability, shows very irritation, get anger very easily. Hair loss, the child looks old compared to his age group. Then wrinkled skin, skin with many folds, severe muscle wasting means loss of muscles, loss of weight. Okay. These are all the symptoms of marasmus. So, what is the solution for this problem? The solution for this problem is compensating the deficient nutrient. The child must be given rich protein food, balanced diet, then the child will recover soon. Okay. Actually, these are malnutrition diseases, they are disorders actually. Okay. Obesity. Obesity is a self-acquired problem. This is due to overeating. This is due to overeating and excess of energy intake. It is a big health hazard. Obesity is a big health hazard. See how many problems arise. Heart problems, obstructive sleep apnea, sleeplessness, restlessness, high BP, cholesterol, certain types of cancers, diabetes, high blood pressure. These are all the cardiovascular problems. Problems related to heart and kidneys, renal problems will be arise due to obesity. So, obese children when grows, they will be a target of many diseases like diabetes, cardiovascular problems, renal problems related to kidneys, gallbladder problems, stones in the gallbladder. So, these are all very dangerous health disorders. Okay, it is due to overeating. And some genetical studies reveals that obesity is genetical also, because if the parents are obese, if a gene appears in the children, then the children may also obese. So, the only treatment for this is to reduce the calorie intake, to reduce the energy rich food intake and increase energy expenditure doing regular physical exercises. What happens during obesity means the adipocytes, in 9th class you have studied adipose tissue, the fat storing connective tissue. Okay, that adipocytes size is increased due to the accumulation of fats. So, if their number decrease means it may lead to some adverse problems. That is the reason why the Hollywood, Bollywood heroes and heroines, when they go for surgery to reduce the obesity, it may lead to many health problems and even deaths also results due to that. So, it should be only the size of the adipocyte should be reduced drastically, slowly, by increasing the energy expenditure, by doing the physical exercise regularly and eating the fiber rich and balanced diet. Okay, and reduce intake of calories may help the obese persons to recover fast. Okay, recall the Size Zero movie. I hope most of you watched. Okay, right. Next, vitamins. Vitamins and vitamin deficiency diseases. What are vitamins or vitamins? Vitamins are organic substances. They are micronutrients because they are required in very small quantities. They are required in small quantities, that's why they are called micronutrients. All vitamins are not synthesized in our body, hence they are also called essential nutrients. They are available through two sources. They are mainly two sources. What are they? One is our food, the food which we eat, and the second one is useful bacteria, our friends present in the intestine. These useful bacteria synthesize and supplies vitamins to the body, like lactobacillus bacteria, Escherichia coli. There are some friendly bacteria present in our intestine which synthesizes some vitamins like vitamin B12, vitamin K to some extent. Okay, so The main source is the food which we eat. There are several food materials rich on this. Okay, if you have the complete knowledge of vitamins, then it is useful to maintain balanced diet. Okay, the nuts, eggs, these vitamins are available from plant and animal sources. Fresh leafy vegetables are always rich in. What are these vitamins? Vitamins are called protective nutrients. You studied in your lower classes, isn't it? Vitamins are protective nutrients or healthy nutrients. They maintains health. Most of the vitamins acts as cofactors, means for the activity of enzymes. They activate the enzymes present in our body. They activate the different vital functions of our body, depends on the availability of these vitamins. Okay, generally the vitamin deficiency does not occur, but under severe cases the vitamin deficiency may occur if the diet is neglected. Every day only one type of food material if we consume, that may lead to vitamin deficiency. Some wrong habits like too much washing the rice, too much polishing of rice, okay, removing the peels of every vegetables. Okay, some vegetables with peel, some grains, particularly cereals, whole grain cereals we have to eat, sprouts we have to eat. Okay, milk, meat and eggs you have to include in the diet. If it is vegetarians, vegetarian proteinaceous food like beans, pulses must be included. Okay, let us proceed. Vitamin deficiency in the form of one table. Directly, if you have textbook, in the textbook also it is clearly mentioned. Vitamins, sources and deficiency diseases and the symptoms of the diseases. So the vitamins are basically classified into two main types: water soluble vitamins and fat soluble vitamins. Who discovered vitamin? Vitamins were discovered by Funk, the scientist. So based on the solubility, vitamins are divided into water soluble and fat soluble. Water soluble vitamins are vitamin B complex and vitamin C. Vitamin B complex and vitamin C. So vitamin B complex include a group of vitamins: vitamin B1, it is called thiamine; vitamin B2, it is called riboflavin; vitamin B3, it is called niacin; vitamin B6, pyridoxine; vitamin B12, cyanocobalamin; the folic acid, pantothenic acid and biotin. These are the group of 8 vitamins called vitamin B complex. Okay, children, let us study one by one. Vitamin B1, thiamine. So almost the sources are same: eggs, cereals, oil seeds, fish, vegetables, milk and meat. These are all the vitamins rich food material. Vitamin rich food material. B1 is present in these food materials. Vitamin B1 deficiency lead to a disease called beriberi. What are the symptoms of beriberi? Vomitings, fits means convulsions, difficulty in breathing and loss of appetite also, means loss of hunger, and paralysis. These are all the symptoms of vitamin B1. What is vitamin B1? Thiamine. Thiamine deficiency lead to beriberi disease. Next, vitamin B2. What is the chemical name? Riboflavin. What are the resources? Milk, eggs, liver, kidney, green leafy vegetables. These are the rich in vitamin B2. Vitamin B2 deficiency leads to glossitis. Glossitis is the most common deficiency Riboflavin is the most common deficiency in the people. Mouth cracks at corners, red and sore tongue, and scaly skin. These are the symptoms of glossitis. Next, niacin, vitamin B3, kidney, liver, meat, eggs, fish and oil seeds. So most of the resources are common. Deficiency of vitamin B3 leads to pellagra disease. Pellagra symptoms are dermatitis, diarrhea and dementia. Dementia means loss of memory. 3D disease. Dermatitis means skin disease, diarrhea, vomitings and motions, loss of memory, dementia, and the scaly skin. Skin becomes scaly. These are the symptoms of pellagra disease. Next, vitamin B6, pyridoxine, cereals, oil seeds, vegetables, milk, meat, fish, egg and liver are the sources. Anemia is the symptom of disease. The disease due to pyridoxine is anemia. What are the symptoms? Hyper irritability, get irritated very easily. Nausea means running nose, always water comes from the nose. Next, vomitings and fits, convulsions. These are the symptoms of pyridoxine. Anemia means actually weakness. This is other symptom, but this one, fits, vomitings, nausea, these are the common symptoms of deficiency of pyridoxine or vitamin B6. Cyanocobalamin, next vitamin, vitamin B12, cyanocobalamin, and it is synthesized by the bacteria present in the intestine. Okay, some useful bacteria present in the intestine synthesize which vitamin? Vitamin B12. And cyanocobalamin deficiency leads to a disease called pernicious anemia. Pernicious anemia means reduce in the count of RBC. Okay, so what are the symptoms means become weak and lean and less appetite. Less appetite means no hungry. Okay, if no hungry, no eating, no eating, weakness. Okay, so cyanocobalamin is B12 injections will be given for the old people. Generally deficiency occur in the old age, at the old age. Okay, next, folic acid. Folic acid, vitamin B, it is present in the meat, eggs, milk, fruits, cereals, leafy vegetables, and its deficiency also leads to anemia. Okay, loss of leukocytes here, WBC count is reduced. Diarrhea, actually the term diarrhea represents loose watery motions and vomitings. Okay, next, and mucus problems also arise. Intestinal mucus problem. Intestinal mucus problem means, you know, our internal intestinal wall is richly supplied with mucus for easy passage of food materials, so that mucus problem arises. Okay, next, B vitamin, biotin. Biotin vitamin is available in the pulses, nuts, vegetables, liver, milk, and kidneys also. Okay, and the deficiency leads to nervous disorders. Okay, fatigue, mental depression, muscle pains. Okay, these are the symptoms. Mental depression, the people who commit suicides may be deficiency of biotin vitamin. Depressions, they will easily get depressed for simple things. Okay, next, ascorbic acid, it is the last water soluble vitamin. Ascorbic acid or vitamin C, it is generally available in the green leafy vegetables, citrus fruits, sprouts, Indian gooseberry, Okay, Indian gooseberry means usuri. And the citrus fruits include oranges, lemon group of plants. Okay, and it is the only vitamin which is required in large quantities every day. Scurvy is the disease due to the deficiency of vitamin C. What are the symptoms? Delay in healing of wounds, and the fractures of bones, and oozing of blood from the tooth gums. Okay, these are the symptoms of scurvy disease. It is a heat sensitive vitamin. Folic acid and ascorbic acid are heat sensitive vitamins. Retinol, these are fat soluble vitamins. Vitamin A, D, E and K, they are fat soluble vitamins. Retinol is the vitamin A. It is richly present in the leafy vegetables, carrot, tomato, pumpkin, papaya, means red color fruits and vegetables contain this vitamin. Mango, meat, fish, red meat, okay, fish, egg, liver, milk, cod liver oil, shark liver oil, these are all the sources of vitamin A. Okay, and it is an important vitamin required for a healthy eyes. Its deficiency leads to diseases related to eye and skin. Okay, the symptoms are night blindness, means unable to see the objects in dim light, it is called night blindness. Then xerophthalmia, it is also called dry eyes disease. Structure of eyes you studied in your lower class. So eye is a very important organ. So it is protected by lacrimal glands, secretion of tears. So dry eyes disease is called xerophthalmia. Eyes become desert like, very dry. Okay, then scaly skin, skin loses its natural shine, and cornea failure also occur in severe deficiency of vitamin A. So vitamin A must be included in the diet. Calciferol. Next, vitamin D. Vitamin D is available in the morning, early morning sunlight. Some food materials like liver, egg, butter, cod liver oil, shark liver oil. Okay, and milk. This vitamin D is present. Vitamin D is functional along with calcium. So calcium rich food materials also help in the synthesis of vitamin D. Vitamin D is also synthesized in our body when we expose our skin to the morning sunlight. Then the useful cholesterol is present in the body. Beneath the skin, cholesterol is present. So that cholesterol converted into calciferol in the presence of sunlight. Okay, so its deficiency leads to osteoporosis in old people and rickets in the children. What is the main symptom? Improper formation of bones and the bending of bones. Okay, or we can say knock knees, means both the knees will touch each other when they are walking. Swollen wrists, wrists become swollen. Delay in dentition, means teeth not produced properly in the children. Then weak bones. These are all the symptoms of calciferol deficiency or vitamin D deficiency. Okay, main disease is rickets in children below 5 years. Next, tocopherol. Tocopherol is a fat soluble vitamin. It is a vitamin E. Then it is present in the fresh leafy vegetables, sprouts, meat, eggs. The vegetables like drumsticks, sprouted seeds, they are rich in vitamin E. Vitamin E is very important vitamin. So its deficiency leads to hair fall, and the person looks old. Okay, delay in aging is one of the best uh, function of this tocopherol or vitamin E. So its deficiency leads to fertility disorders also. Fertility disorders means the problems related to reproductive system. Sterility in males. Sterility in males. And abortions in females. These are the symptoms of the fertility disorders. So that's why tocopherol is also called anti-sterility vitamin. Anti-sterility vitamin. So every vitamin having its own name. Anti-scurvy vitamin, vitamin C. Anti-xerophthalmia vitamin, vitamin A. Anti-rickets vitamin, vitamin D. Okay. Next, phylloquinone. Phylloquinone is the last fat soluble vitamin. It is a vitamin K. It is present in the green leafy vegetables. This vitamin are also synthesized in the body to some extent, and it is present in the milk, especially cow milk contain this vitamin, and its deficiency leads to delay in blood clotting. Blood clotting is the main function of this vitamin, and delay in the blood clotting, vitamin K is one of the factor of blood clotting mechanism that is delayed, so loss of more blood occurs. So that's the reason why vitamin K injections will be given before any surgery. Okay. Okay, children, let us proceed to today's exercise, that is today's quiz. And remember, tomorrow you are going to write an exam, so please prepare thoroughly, read textbook or watch the videos again. Let us proceed. Deficiency of dash causes night blindness. Vitamin D, vitamin A, vitamin C, vitamin E. What is the right answer? B. Vitamin A is the right answer. Vitamin A deficiency causes night blindness and xerophthalmia. Next, deficiency of which nutrient leads to rickets? Okay, that is vitamin D, B option. Having iodized salt regularly in your food will help in the prevention of, so vitamins as well as minerals also very important. Some important minerals you tell children, that is calcium, sodium, potassium, chlorine, iodine, iron. These are the most important minerals. Okay, so iodine is available in the form of iodized salt, isn't it? So when we are not taking regularly the iodine, then it will lead to a disease called goiter, which you have studied in your lower class. Enlargement of thyroid gland. Okay, swollen neck, it is a symptom of goiter. Next, stunted growth and stomach shrinkage are the symptoms of this deficiency disease. Anemia, marasmus, kwashiorkor, obesity. Stunted growth, growth is less. Stomach shrinkage, these are the symptoms of marasmus disease. Okay, because it is a protein and calorie malnutrition disease. Okay. Next, having foods rich in this vitamin will prevent beriberi disease. Having foods rich in this vitamin will prevent beriberi disease. What is that vitamin? Vitamin A, vitamin C, vitamin B1, vitamin B2. What is that vitamin? Vitamin B1. Vitamin B1 deficiency causes beriberi. What are the symptoms? Vomitings, fits, loss of appetite, difficulty in breathing, paralysis. Okay. Next, if you are suffering from anemia, you should eat foods rich in vitamin A, vitamin C, calcium and phosphorus, iron and vitamin B12. Okay, what is the right answer? Anemia means what happened means the hemoglobin does not function properly due to lack of iron. So, iron and vitamin B12. Vitamin B12 helps in the formation of RBC. Okay, iron helps in the formation of hemoglobin. So, the person suffering from anemia should eat the food materials rich in iron and vitamin B12. Lack of exposure to sunlight may lead to deficiency of this vitamin. Vitamin A, vitamin D, vitamin E, vitamin K. Which vitamin, children? Vitamin D. Infection and bleeding of gums can be prevented by having foods rich in iron, calcium, fluorine and phosphorus. Last one is vitamin C. Which is the correct one? Bleeding of gums. Vitamin C. Kwashiorkor caused by severe malnutrition, overnutrition, junk foods, vitamin deficiency. Kwashiorkor is caused by deficiency of proteins. Okay, so severe malnutrition. Vitamin D works with what other mineral to keep bones strong? Iron, calcium, iodine, vitamin C. Vitamin D works with what other mineral to keep bones strong? What is that? Calcium. Okay, calcium and vitamin D work together. What are the two fatty acids your body needs that it can't produce? Our body cannot synthesize these fatty acids. They are available only through the food. That's why sunflower oil we will use. That's why the doctors recommend use the vegetable oils by changing. Sometime groundnut oil, some days this sunflower oil. Okay, sometimes mixed oils also, olive oil, like that. Eating coconuts. These are all include these fatty acids. What are they? Omega 3, omega 6. These two fatty acids are very important for the working of brain, growth of brain at childhood. Okay. Next, today's, what is the deficiency disease of proteins? Deficiency disease of protein? Kwashiorkor. Okay. Children, read textbook and get ready for the tomorrow's exam. Don't miss the exam. You will enjoy the exam. Prepare well. I hope you understood the today's class. Thank you for watching our video. Please subscribe our channel and press the bell icon for receiving latest updates.